Hello, everyone. This is me from the future. Um, yeah, we're going to do a little bit of a different one today, but this is the system that I made up very, very quickly about how I draw. So I thought we'd watch a little video of me doing a little bit of drawing, and as we go along, I've made up a little system. It's called the MUMBLE system. So, first one. And my apologies, it starts off pretty low bar, but the first one is imagine with a silent I. So yes, it's just imagine. Um, so yeah, I mean, when I go to think about how to create a character, I imagine that character in real life. I imagine how they move, how they sound, and that's always something that I found to be really useful in creating a character. It brings them to life, and I don't know, even imagine how they move and stuff. And I think a lot of the characters I create, especially the chap you see in the background now of Ego, he is always constantly crawling. He's heavy. His movements are arduous and slow, and he's just creepy and monstrous. And I suppose when I go to draw him, I always have that sort of idea of how he interacts with the world. Yeah, I think that's about right. I think, but I think a lot of the characters I think of, and it doesn't matter if it's like superheroes or monsters or sci-fi or whatever. I always imagine them somewhat as a game, how they would interact with the world in a game. That sort of things like that. So yeah, my first one is Imagine with a silent I. Ugh, it doesn't get much better than that throughout the video, so apologies. U is utilize. So even though I don't use references for any of my drawings, I'm constantly looking for stuff in the real world. So every time I go for a walk with my dog, um, I'm always looking at, different creepy trees or, mushrooms and sticks and mud and even other dogs and sort of watch how my dog moves and stuff. And I guess it's what I've always used is the world around me to sort of bring in. And I'll try and remember everything, but everything I draw is kind of a little bit random and weird. And, we'll get to that in a bit. But I do use a lot of Pinterest and, other people's art. I love H.R. Geiger or Giger, however you say it. Yeah, Pinterest, I think it's a very useful tool. I've been using that for years, and I think on one of my little boards, the one specifically for this board game, I think it's just over 1,000 images now. And I get to the point now, I keep going back over it, and every now and again I go to add another image, and I swear I've never seen it before, but I clearly have because it says it's already been saved. So yeah, comics are a really good one as well. And especially if you wanted to do comics or style art or stylized stuff, I don't think you can go wrong with like a good graphic novel. Yeah, utilize. What else can you utilize? I like mechanical stuff and I like metal stuff. So I think whenever I can, I will take a picture on my phone or just stand and look at something, take it all in. Oh dear. Right, that brings me to the next M. Make it up. I I think my favorite thing about my favorite thing about my favorite thing about drawing is making it up. I always have this ridiculous philosophy that if I'm making it up, I can't get it wrong. And this is something that's always stuck with me, and it helps. I don't try and chase perfection because, I'm not working from anything. I'm just working from my imagination and as I see myself in the background now, oh, I look really pale. Am I that pale? Huh. As I'm seeing myself doing the dot work now on the scythe of Vigo's like weird blade arm thingy, it's just making it up. I've got an idea of where the light's coming from the left. Um, I think I always do that, and I always do characters looking to the left as well because I can't draw them looking to the right. But we're going down a rabbit hole here. I just make it up. I think it's more fun, it takes you away from like worrying about getting it just right. Yeah, just make it up. Can't go wrong then. So I'm just watching myself draw. This is really weird. This is the first time ever doing this. Doing a voiceover. Very cool. And the reason why we did a voiceover is when I was recording this, I was drawing exceptionally slowly. So I normally draw quite slow if I've got nothing really to do. And this was going to be like a silent video. And we were thinking about putting nice music in the background and stuff like that. But for some reason, every single person in the entire world today was incredibly noisy outside, especially the birds. So there was like some argument going on. So I don't know, between magpies and seagulls. So in the end, the audio was so all over the place, we decided not to. Right, where was I? Make it up. Make it up. Yeah, make it up. Can't go wrong. Next one. Be kind. Now, this sounds a little bit, a bit corny, but it's true. I think I've always been a little bit critical of myself, drawing, painting, stuff like that. But I think I've just learned to be kind to myself. Like, if I draw something and it's not quite right or something is a bit crap, just have a bit of a laugh about it. Don't worry too much and try and see yourself as like, or your art is a bit of a friend. You wouldn't be horribly critical, unkind. You just make a joke about it and move on. And it's not even to learn anything from it or the process. It's just being nice to yourself. Because you're not going to draw everything perfect always, are you? I mean, no one is. No one's perfect at anything, really. Maybe they are, I don't know. But I'm certainly not perfect at drawing, and I never will be. And that's okay. I like where I am now. And yeah, that sounded quite deep, actually. Yeah. Excellent. Right, we're on 7 minutes 35. Oh my goodness. I got a lot longer to talk, so I need to start rambling a bit more. Anyway, so yeah, be kind to yourself and your art. Be kind to your art. Don't be mean to it. It might have feelings. Yeah. So next one, L. Learn from feedback, and this can be feedback from your own reflections on your own images or from others, like critiques. I know that my art has improved more in the last 6, 7 months of doing this channel than it has in years. And, usually because people wouldn't see my art other than, very close friends and family sometimes. So yeah, I didn't really get any critiques because, they were, I guess you always worry about critiquing, don't you? Even if it's like constructive. You always have that sort of sense or worry about upsetting someone. But I must admit, the last 6, 7 months, I've actually grown as an artist, which is super weird because I felt like a year or so ago I kind of stopped improving. But yeah, learn from feedback. Yeah, even if it's just little tweaks, even if it's just like putting the videos in a certain way or I don't know, better camera or better lighting and stuff like that. It all makes a huge difference, and a lot of you that have already helped me and my partner put these videos in a better way. In a better way. Sorry, I got distracted. I just realized how creepy this creature looks. It's the first time I've ever done the mouth like this as well, and it was kind of like, I like the like mandibles, like the jaw. Move your hand. Oh, what a rookie. Get your hand out of the way. So yeah, the mandibles and the teeth will kind of look like fingers. I don't know if any sharp-eyed viewers noticed that, but yeah, I thought that was gross. That's the first time I've ever drawn that. I liked him. He's so creepy. I think he's vile. I think that's why I keep going back to drawing, because he's so interesting, because he's so gross. Anyway, where were we? Learn from feedback. Yeah, 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 that'll do. Oh dear, there's a lot longer left to do this video. I didn't realise it's actually easier to talk while you're drawing. Or maybe it's not. Anyway, last but not least, E, enjoy. That's my big one. So I think when I was younger, I had this thing about like, oh, keep fighting through, keep powering through, even if you're not enjoying it and you're really not getting the drawing or the painting or whatever it is, keep fighting through and, keep throwing yourself against that wall until you get through. And I guess there's some truth to that. And yeah, that's how we learn, isn't it? Pull ourselves out of a little bit of a comfort zone. But now, if I'm not enjoying something, especially with art, and I think this might be an age thing too, I just don't do it. I'll just stop. And, honestly, this kind of comes back to the be kind to yourself, like if you're really not enjoying it and you're not getting any pleasure from something that should be a hobby and should bring you joy and laughter and fun. I don't know, laughter, a bit weird if I was just laughing at my images. Though sometimes I do get the giggles. Yeah, just enjoy it. If you're not enjoying it, I just don't bother now. And I don't think this is really a video about how to draw. I think it's more how I draw. And I'm not sure of how useful that'll be to a lot of people. And apologies. I sometimes forget the plan, and then halfway through I realize what I should have done. But yeah, enjoy yourself. So that's the mumble system. Um, Imagine with a silent I, utilize, make it up, be kind, learn from feedback, and enjoy. So that with that in mind, sorry, I'm losing my voice. I'm gonna have a bit of tea. So with that in mind, we're done with the mumble system. I hope something was useful in there, and if it wasn't, then I hope you enjoy just me drawing this gross, wonderful character once again. And yeah, I just thought, we got a bit of time now because the way we've edited this video, so we're going to come back to it. But so here I'm just doing the outline, and there's something about doing dot work and then a really thick, strong outline using the, I think this is 003. And I only used the 005 a couple of times just for the big chunky shading bits. But yeah, there's something about the dot work with a thick black line with it, and it just sort of pops and brings it to life. And I've always enjoyed dot work. There's something very calming about it, and I think, I did think about doing the video, and to be honest, with all the sounds going on, it was kind of a good thing because I'm not sure how many people would actually happily watch me do dot work because it is innately boring, I imagine, for people to see it. I really like it. I like the tedium. So yeah, I always find drawing is a little bit of it's not quite meditative because it can be quite frustrating. You can, get kind of lost in all sorts of not positive ways drawing, I guess. What am I on about? What was I talking about? Oh, I don't know. Oh yeah, doing some more dot work. Yeah, so the idea for this character is like all the limbs, the flesh, bone, stuff like that. It will just be my sort of my sketchy, inky kind of style. I guess that is my style. And then the cloth and the scythe blade, for some reason, only because I thought it looked cool, is going to have this dot work. And I think it looks pretty good, actually. And yeah, I think that was a very jarring jump from a different angle, wasn't it? What was I going to say? I have no idea. Oh, yeah. So, yeah, we're going to keep the cloth and the clothing to dot work. And this is not going to be in the main game. I've decided I'm going to make a little either print to play or a teeny tiny production of one of the mini games in the big game. So I'm going to call this little game, if it really does take off. I hope it does, because I know I'm terrible for saying, oh, I'm going to do this, and then, I get distracted by something shiny and I start doing something else. But the idea of it is just the foraging aspect, the scavenging aspect more so. And this is going to be a prerequisite to the main game, where you are Vigo, and it's called Vigo's Day Out, and it's going to be kind of like, well, it's just the foraging, scavenging dice mechanic, and you're going to find lots of stuff for the purpose of building the homunculi. The homunculi are the little people that he'll have in the future, which helps him move around, helps him fight, and all this. So I thought it'd be quite cool little introduction to one of the mechanics in the game, and that's just the scavenging bit, and I think that's kind of cool. So yeah, that's where this is going to be, and it's all going to be hand drawn because that's what I wanted to do. So I need to do all the assets and all that stuff, but yeah, I'm looking forward to do it. I'm going to carry on with this today as well. I won't do it on camera because, again, I think that's cruel to subject people to watching me do dot work. Oh yeah, it should be coming up to ending soon, I think. This was really weird doing like a voiceover. I'm not sure if I really like it or really dislike it. I have to use the L from the Mumble system, won't I? Learn from feedback. Do some reflection. So yeah, if you've liked this video, good. I'm glad. And anyway, as we're coming to an end, probably quite soon, I just want to say a huge thanks to everyone. To everyone that's got us to 2,500, to our patrons, to all our YouTube friends, and all our new friends. Right. That's about it. That's all I got. Hope you have a great day. Don't forget to have a nice cuppa. And yeah, you all take care. Bye bye.